The best thing in baseball for me is when an error occurs and the fielder immediately looks down at his glove like it's the glove's fault, right? Like there's a hole in the thing and then he's just realizing it now and then the ball squirted through. Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to the Phightins Phinal here on the Edge of Philly Sports Network with your boy, Matty B. And golden opportunity kind of taken for granted as the Phillies played a very slip-shoddy game tonight and pretty much threw it away against the Marlins. They were able to get up on Sandy Alcantara, and to their effort, they watch it go away in the form of an error late in the game by Rhys Hoskins, the corner butcher, and I'll give Ray Didinger credit for that, out there at first base. And immediately as the ball was squirting underneath Rhys's glove, he stops and he looks at the glove like, please be a hole there. And I didn't just misplay that 10th error of the season for Rhys Hoskins. And listen, as we are streaming towards a playoff appearance, and there's a lot going on right now. There's a lot going on right now in baseball that we got to talk about that might hinge on the Phillies making the playoffs. But when we get to the playoffs and whatever happens this year, and we sit down in the offseason, we got to seriously consider moving on from Rhys Hoskins. He is providing absolutely nothing in the field, and his streakiness and his hitting his streakiness hitting. I just can't do it no more with him. It's time to move on from him. And we also need to probably relook, obviously, Kyle Schwarber in the leadoff position, but that's of course a drum I've been beating on now for a few months. Let's get to the line, folks, right off the bat here. Let's talk about how this nightmare went down in Philadelphia or in South Philly. The Marlins would finish with 6 runs, 12 hits and an error. The Phillies 5 runs, 9 hits in that very costly Rhys Hoskins error. And this is how it all happened. Kyle Gibson was not good tonight. Kyle Gibson was not good. Kyle Gibson was not bad. Kyle Gibson was Kyle Gibson tonight, and all his emotional roller coaster baggage that he brings with him just really never looked like he got settled in. Had moments of greatness and then moments of just like, what, huh? It got all started in the top of the third with Diaz would homer off of Gibson to give the Marlins a 1-0 lead. Then the Marlins would continue to kind of build on that in the third inning as well. Garrett Cooper would knock in John Birdie to make it 2-0. And Garcia then would cap off the scoring in the third for the Marlins by driving in Garrett Cooper to make it 3-0. This is kind of what Gibson's MO is. He has that one, he can cruise and be good, and then he has that one bad inning, and it's typically the third or the fourth or the fifth inning that he just kind of like loses control and loses everything, gets out of pitch. And tonight it was the third, but only to a tune of 3 runs. So you got to kind of give him that. Then Nick Maytown would get the Phillies right back into this thing as he would homer in the bottom of the third to make it 3-1. JT would fielder's choice in Rhys Hoskins in the bottom of the fourth to make it 3-2. Bryson Stott would then knock in Alec Bohm with a double to make it 3-3. That was the big inning for the Phillies tonight. Was that fourth inning? In the top of the fifth, Joey Wendell would would homer to make it 4-3. Alec Bohm with the hit of the night. It seemed like at that time would drive in Kyle Schwarber and Rhys Hoskins with a triple to make it 5-4. Of course, Kyle Schwarber was standing on first base because of a horrible outfield play by Blade out there. But of course, and I echo John Kruk's sentiments, why wasn't Kyle Schwarber standing on second when that play ended? He was sandbagging coming out of the box, a la Bryce Harper the other night. What is going on, folks? Joey Wendell in the ninth, and this is where it all kind of came apart, would reach on Rhys Hoskins' fielding error, knocking in Brian De La Cruz to tie things up at 5, and then the next batter, Brian Anderson, would knock in Joey Wendell to make it 6-5. David Robertson was the pitcher of record in the ninth inning, and obviously David Robertson gets saddled with this nightmare, and he was really not good. He was really not good. Offensively, individually, Kyle Schwarber 0 for 4 with a run scored. Of course, he was the victim of an error. He got on base because of an error. Should have been on second, as John Kruk stated. Sandbagging coming out of the box. 211, folks, is his batting average now. He struck out one more time. When is somebody going to listen to me and get Kyle Schwarber the hell out of the lineup? Actually, it was a 40-inch slip. I meant to say out of that leadoff spot, but you know what? I wouldn't be totally upset if they sat his ass down for a few days. This guy is absolutely useless out there. He is useless right now, folks. He's not hitting home runs anymore, and he's not hitting anything anymore. I don't know what's going on. We got to do something to shake up this lineup. It is getting frustrating to watch. Rhys Hoskins had a good offensive night, 3 for 4 with 2 runs. Alec Bohm, 2 for 4 with a run and 2 RBIs. Bryce Harper, What's going on with Bryce Harper? LMV3 is not really playing all that well since coming back from the DL. Now, everybody is going to kind of ride that, right? Well, we got to give him time. He was out for 2 months. I agree. But he is the reigning National League MVP. How much time do we give the reigning national MVP to figure out how to get his swing back? I don't know. I'm asking. You tell me. JT Realmuto, 0 for 4 with an RBI. Bryson Stott, 3 for 4 with an RBI. Nick Maton, who I am going to give Offensive Player of the Night honors to for the Phillies, was 1 for 2 with a run, a home run, and an RBI. And Matt Verling, 0 for 1 as he came in for a pinch hitting relief. On the Marlins, John Birdie was 1 for 4. Garrett Cooper, 2 for 5 with a run and an RBI. Wendell, 1 for 5 with 2 runs, 1 RBI, and a homer. Garcia was 3 for 4 with an RBI. Brian Anderson, 1 for 4 with an RBI. And Diaz was 1 for 2 with a run and an RBI. Pitching, mentioned it already. Yeah, Kyle Gibson, he lasted 5 tonight, but just really was not. He was Kyle Gibson. He wasn't good. He wasn't bad. He was Kyle Gibson. 5 innings, 9 hits, 4 runs. They were all earned. Struck out 2 when he walked 1. Natoli, Coonrod in hand, kind of came in. Hand was a little rough, a little shaky, but he pitched well. And then, of course, David Robertson, who will get the loss tonight, won an inning, gave up 2 hits, 2 runs. One of them was earned. Thank you, Rhys Hoskins, a walk, and he did strike out 3 to get out of that 9th inning. He gets the loss, as I mentioned, 4-3 now in the season. Sandy Alcantara. I mentioned this at the top of the show. When you have an opportunity, and Alcantara wasn't really dealing all that well tonight, and the Phillies were getting to him, and they let an opportunity go by. 6 innings, 8 hits, 5 runs. All 3 of them were earned. He struck out 7. He did give up the home run. Liner and Floro, who gets credit for the win, also pitched for the Marlins. And there you have 6-5. Marlins over the Phillies. Phillies blow an opportunity to sweep the Marlins. And now, because of what's been happening out there, and I believe in Milwaukee, in reference to the Giants and the Brewers. So the Giants and the Brewers were playing 2 games just today. It was part of making up some of the lost series from the beginning of the season. So the Giants came to Milwaukee for a doubleheader, and that's it. Earlier, Milwaukee beat San Francisco, and currently now, let's take a look. It's in the top of the 7th. Let's refresh that. Let's see if that is the top of the 7th. But it is in the bottom of the. It's heading to the bottom of the 8th, and it's 4-2 Brewers. If the Brewers win, they would have swept that doubleheader and would find themselves 2.5 games out of that third final wild card. Essentially, 2.5 games behind the Phillies. Just a horrible chain of events that kind of occur today for the Phillies. This is not the time that you this is not the time that you get swept in a doubleheader. So not good for the Phillies. Steven hits me up with, dude, Reese wanted the wheel and go to third. I swear he did. Schwarber played the ball awfully off the wall. Not like we didn't know what we had a softball team, man. Listen, they're a Major League Baseball team. I got you, brother. I agree with you. But the play with Reese was wheel and go to third. He wasn't even looking in that direction. He wasn't even looking at the ball. The glove wasn't on the ground. It was just a poorly executed defensive play. Poorly executed by Reese on that play. The difference this year is Wright is giving people chance. Rob Thompson is giving people chances. Joe Girardi was married to friggin' Didi and that loser Torres. That plus Milwaukee sucking and San Diego having an awful schedule is what I have to hope for. Yeah, you know what? Yeah, I give you some of that. 9-8, 9-9 historically off days in our history wasn't all the runs are going to be unearned. Who cares? Happening that day. Well, thank you, Stephen, for chiming in. I appreciate it. But as I mentioned, Phillies now drop on the season. The Phillies will now drop to 75-62. Let's check that out, Town Scoreboard, so we can kind of get up. Not a real late night in the in Major League Baseball. Not too many games really that kind of affect the Phillies. As I mentioned, the big one, Milwaukee and San Francisco in a doubleheader right now. Milwaukee won the first one 2-1, and they are winning in the second one 4-2. St. Louis earlier in the day lost to Washington 11-6, and that is really it. That's all the games that really have any bearing to the Phillies. But we will lose a half a game both to the Mets and the Braves this evening. So if you're keeping track at home, the Phillies are now 11.5 games out of first place, and yeah, and technically now a half a game behind the Padres for that third and final wild card in the National League. So, you know, we were on the show last night, and there was a lot of talk about how we struggled this week with the Marlins. A bottom feeder team that we struggled to beat them. And I agree with that. I agree with some of that. What I don't agree with, of course, is the fact that these games mean anything less than beating, say, the Mets. They don't. They are the same thing. It's a game that we need. These are games that we need in the standings. These are games that we need to get to the playoffs. And when you go out and you lose a game like you lost tonight, where you had it, um, and he had an error kind of open the door. And I'm not saying it's all on Reese. Obviously, he wasn't pitching. I got that. But when you give teams extra um, outs, it's going to come back and bite you on the ass in Major League Baseball. And tonight, that's what the Phillies did. So, but this game meant no less or more than it would have, say, to beat the Mets. So winning you got to win. You got to win. You got to play, like, as John Kruk said, every game is like game 7 of the World Series from this point out. The Phillies haven't won nothing, folks. The Phillies haven't clinched anything. And they got to go out there and play like every game is their last at this stage of the season. Because these are the games, like a game tonight, is the kind of game that comes back and haunts you later on down the road or in a couple of weeks when maybe you lose by a half a game. So you really think a baseball team at this stage of the season with this much on the line would be able to play a lot better than the Phillies did fundamentally. And I got it. I understand what they are. I know what they are. I've been very aware of what they are. And it's obviously something we have to look at next offseason. Obviously, Schwarber's got to come out of that. He's got to come out of that leadoff spot. It's getting out of control. He's got to come out of that leadoff spot. I feel like we got swept in the series last few years, so I chose to look up, not down. Hey, but it's not the last few years. It's this year. We got to sweep. We got to win every game. Amazing is that Robbie sucks coming into an inning cold. Not sure if there's anything to that. I don't know either. Listen, his appearances for the Phillies have been generally good. There's been some clunkers, and tonight was a clunker. But again, I mentioned you can't give teams extra outs. Rhys Hoskins opened the door in that inning. Not to say that it's his fault and that Robertson should be able to come back and make the pitches he needs to try to pitch out of that, or at least limit the damage to 1 run. I got that, but it takes everybody to kind of come together on that and try to make this thing happen. You can't give a team any extra outs, and that's what the Phillies did tonight. They let the Marlins come back, and then of course Rhys Hoskins staring at his glove. The classic, I made an error, so I'm going to try to blame the glove. Please, God, let there be a hole in this thing so I can walk off the field with my head held high. Not the case. Rhys Hoskins' 10th error of the year. 10 errors this season for Rhys Hoskins, as that corner butcher moniker definitely is alive and well, at least at first base in Philadelphia. So the Phillies are not going to have much time to lick their wounds, which is a good thing. As tomorrow night, they're going to get right back at this. 7:05, they're going to welcome in the Washington Nationals. Yes, another bottom feeder team, another more low hanging fruit. Got to get it. We need the fruit. Patrick Corbin will be going on the hill. He'll bring his 6-17, 6.28 ERA to bear against Noah Syndergaard and his 8.9, 4.07 ERA. 7:05 first pitch tomorrow at the bank. We need another effort from Syndergaard. He needs a strong one tomorrow. Like I said the last time we went out and pitched, we needed a strong one from him. But we need another strong. We need 6-7 innings from Syndergaard tomorrow. So here's hoping we get that one when we get him in there. So we call the Phillies the Yankees South, much like the Yankees. They are far too inconsistent. Yeah, you're right, Sardar. I'm not gonna be the first one to agree with that one. Alvarado's cutter needs to be ridden. Cole Cotham gets some credit, that's for sure. Yeah. He does. Steven says we must sweep. Yeah, we must sweep. You're damn right. We got to take advantage of these games. Because next week we got 3 with the Marlins on the road and then 3 with the Atlanta on the road. So we got to start padding our record. We got to start getting these wins that we need. And we need them. We have not won anything. I'm not even going to have strength for you tonight with that nonsense. So 6-5 Marlins over the Phillies. Let's pay some bills here on EOP and get out of here so I can finish watching some football. Don't forget the great schedule we have here on EOP. It's Thursday night. So tomorrow you're going to have some Chalk Talk, Kelly Green Hour, my show, Talking Philly Sports with Matty B, and it's Friday evening slot for just this week, and then Phightins Phinal after the Phillies game tomorrow night. Don't forget, we got a ton of stuff coming up for the weekend. Obviously, week one, Eagles Lions. We got some pregame stuff going on. We got a pregame show, a halftime show, and a postgame show that I am going to be involved with in some way. I'm not really sure, but I will be on that panel in some way. So you'll be seeing me in that, and then of course the Phightins Phinal on Sunday after the Phillies game. So a lot going on EOP as usual. If things are going well in life, but then they take a sudden turn for the worst. Dave Cherry was there for all your workman's comp, motor vehicle accident, personal injury, or criminal law needs. 610-560-565-0300. Tell him that the boys at EOP sent you, and he will take good care of you. And folks, this is what this is going to do it for me. Tough one to swallow tonight. Tough one to take. You really need to win games like this, and this one hurts. This was there. The win was there. The sweep was there, but we didn't get it. We got a so-so starting pitching effort. The offense continues to be inconsistent. Bryce Harper continues to struggle. Kyle Schwarber continues to infuriate me. And then the defense comes back and bites us on the ass late, and we get let down by our bullpen. Gee, where have we heard that before? Just your typical the Phillies that we once knew type of game tonight. They definitely returned for hopefully one last game in 2002. So we talk tomorrow after the Phillies Nationals. Don't forget Patrick Corbin versus Noah Syndergaard, 7:05 from the bank. We will talk after that game. You guys enjoy the rest of your night. Go Phils.